Thank you, Abhay. Our next speaker, Mr. Pran Kurup, is also IIT Kharagpur graduate, Bay Area entrepreneur, political commentator, Economic Times, and has been closely following politics in India and writing about the anti-corruption movement, the rise of AAP, and other events. Pran is the author of 3 technical books and founder and CEO of Vitalect Incorporated, an e-learning company. He was the former president of the Silicon Valley Indian Professionals Association, SIPA, and actively involved in the alumni activities of his alma mater, IIT Kharagpur, for over a decade. So I'll turn it over to Pran.
Can you hear me? So what I thought I'd do today is firstly talk about the current state of Indian politics very briefly, and then I will talk about what appeals to me about the Aam Aadmi Party, and then I'll end with a few comments on the middle class in India. Now, the elections are just around the corner. 2014 is around the corner. We have, middle of next year, we'll have the Lok Sabha elections. And as things stand today, it looks like there are 3 possible outcomes from that election. First of all, we'll see potentially the UPA coming back, or the NDA forming the government, or a hodgepodge of regional parties coming together with the support of either the BJP or the Congress and forming the party, forming the government. Now, the interesting thing about these 3 alternatives is that if you go back over the last 2 decades, all of these 3 have had a shot at running the country. And we've seen exactly what they're capable of. And the interesting thing is that their similarities just don't end there. If you take a step back and look at it, all of them are corrupt. All of them routinely give tickets to people with criminal backgrounds. None of them have any kind of intra-party democracy whatsoever. All of them depend on black money to run their campaigns. And when it comes to bringing political parties under the ambit of RTI, all of them are united in their opposition. They don't want that to happen because they would rather run their show behind the scenes without, letting it out to the public. Now, this particular sentiment that we have, 3 different alternatives around the corner for us after the elections, and the fact that all of them are deeply flawed is captured very nicely in Mr. Gurcharan Das's book. And I'll just read a couple of lines which caught my attention, which captures this sentiment really well. He says, the DNA of the BJP is not secular. The DNA of the Congress is status, populist, and socialist. The regional parties lack a national vision. The left parties do not believe in market-based outcomes. Now here is the important line after that. He says, so although the last thing India needs is a new party, it's unfortunately the only alternative for a young, aspiring, secular India in the 21st century. And that really captures the future of Indian politics. And there lies, as young people who are motivated by everything that is happening in India, if we can make that happen, I think things are going to change in India, and in India's political landscape forever and for good. Now, in light of this, if you look at everything that the Aam Aadmi Party stands for and everything that they've done, it's really interesting. There is plenty to like about the Aam Aadmi Party. First and foremost, the transparent funding process. Today, every single donor to the Aam Aadmi Party is listed on their website. So you can actually go there and see who donated what, right? And this has never happened in the history of Indian politics. And if someone wants to give an anonymous donation, the party will not accept it. And they've close to about 9 crores have been raised as of today, and as we speak, it's continuing to be raised, which is, I think, a phenomenal accomplishment, never before in Indian politics. Now, the other thing that they've done is also to introduce open candidate selection process. There's no mystery. I mean, today you don't know how somebody gets a BJP ticket or a Congress ticket. Well, we all know how it happens, but the reality is we don't, right? But in the case of the Aam Aadmi Party, you have it clearly outlined on the website, and it says this is the process we follow. And it opens up the playing field. Anybody could be a candidate. You could aspire to be a candidate. Whether you become the candidate or not is a different issue, but there's a very clearly defined process for it. And that is a huge leap, I think, as far as Indian politics is concerned. Thirdly, for the first time in Indian politics, we have the income and expense statements of the Aam Aadmi Party actually listed on the website. Now, this is completely unheard of. You'd never see a BJP or a Congress tell you, give you their expense statements. You just know that BJP has earned about 900 crores and the Congress Party has 2,000 crores. But that's it. You don't know the details. Now, the other important thing, again, another first time in Indian politics, is that you have the Aam Aadmi Party has no high command. I mean, every single party today has some form of high command or the other. But the Aam Aadmi Party has laid the roots of intra-party democracy by going out and saying we will not have a high command. I mean, there will be decision-making process, and it will be, it won't be based on like the Gandhi family making the decisions or the RSS making the decisions, or individual head honchos of different parties making decisions. It's going to be a democratic process. Now, not surprisingly, given the way that some of the things that I've just described about the party is a natural extension of that.